The Siegel Center or a 10-day trip to Europe? Both are formidable options. While John Rothstein would argue that a trip to VCU's home arena is more life-changing, I'd have to imagine that Tommy Lloyd in Arizona basketball would have a different answer. This year's version of the Wildcats is built on international talent. Arizona's roster contains players from Canada, Cameroon, Lithuania, Estonia, Mali, France, and Sweden, and while Sean Miller and staff deserve credit for getting most of this current group to Tucson, it's former Gonzaga assistant Tommy Lloyd who is now the global ambassador for Arizona basketball. And based on his international recruiting track record, one that's seen Gonzaga get phenomenal players like Rony Turioff, Kelly Olynyk, Shemek Karnowski, Domantas Sabonis, Killian Tilly, and Rui Hachimura, it's fair to say that Arizona and Lloyd are a perfect fit for the future. But let's focus on this year's Arizona group, because the current Wildcats are 11-1 with wins over Michigan and Illinois, play at a Ricky Bobby-esque pace.
Now, is there anyone out there who wants to go fast? Anybody?
I want to go fast!
And rank in the top 15 in both offensive and defensive efficiency. Behind Arizona's success is a smart and skilled international quartet, which has them set to be a force in the Pac-12 and maybe the NCAA tournament. It's Tommy Lloyd's world, and we're all just living in it. Arizona is studying abroad. Think of the best foursomes of all time. There's the Beatles, John, Paul, George, and Ringo, Seinfeld with Jerry, George, Elaine, and Kramer, the fearsome foursome, the stout defensive line of the LA Rams back in the 1970s. Well, it may be possible that this Arizona group could carry the torch as the next great quartet. Bennedict, Mathurin, Azuolas Tubelis, Kerr Kriisa, and Christian Koloko are the Wildcats' top 4 scorers, and they all hail from outside of the United States. You've heard of the Fab Five, but now let me introduce you to the Worldwide Four. First, we have outstanding sophomore Bennedict Mathurin. Hailing from Montreal, Canada, Mathurin could have left after his freshman year, but elected to return to Arizona and bolster his draft stock. So far, it's safe to say he's done just that. Mathurin is currently averaging 18.3 points, 6.5 boards, and 2 assists per game, while knocking down close to 38% of his threes, and he's seen by most draft analysts as a surefire lottery pick in this year's draft. At 6'7", 195, Mathurin's overall game is just smooth. He can drill a 3 in your eye or rise for a highlight dunk with ease. His handle is fluid and he's got great footwork and technique, and he just seems to be Arizona's do-everything guy. He's the leading scorer and leading three-point shooter, and the team looks to him when they need a spark offensively, and he usually delivers. I mean, there are only so many players that can do this. The combination of Mathurin's size, skill, and versatility makes him one of the best college basketball players in the country and one to watch out for down the line. For Azuolas Tubelis, Arizona had to travel all the way to Vilnius, Lithuania, but it was certainly worth it. Tubelis is a 6'11", 245-pound forward who's currently averaging around 15 points, 6.5 boards, and 3 assists per game. He works best around the basket where he's able to use his strong, wide frame to set up defenders and finish with phenomenal touch. Watch here as Tubelis mosses his defender and then finishes through contact for the and one. But don't get it twisted, because Tubelis can also handle the rock on the perimeter a bit too. He serves as a nice bailout option for when Arizona seems to be stifled on a possession because he's so efficient around the basket. He's not the quickest guy out there, but he's instinctual on defense, and he's shown growth as a passer in high-low actions. Right here, he finds Christian Koloko with a nice lob pass, who finishes with an easy layup. Tubelis certainly has his limitations, but he still plays a vital role on this roster. Slightly north of Lithuania lies Tartu, Estonia, which was the breeding ground of the next member of the Worldwide Four, Kerr Kriisa. Literally named after Wildcats legend Steve Kerr, Kriisa is a crafty 6'3" point guard with a boatload of confidence. While not super efficient, Kriisa does give Arizona a necessary fire from its point guard spot. He can be masterful in pick and roll situations. Watch here how Kriisa exposes Illinois' deep drop coverage by nailing the mid-range jumper. He's also always looking to push the pace and catch defenses sleeping. Here he grabs the rebound and finds Bennedict Mathurin for a wide open 3 after beating Illinois down the floor. And of course, he's also a streaky but capable scorer, and the team seems to feed off his energy, even if it can be a bit much at times. The final member of the Worldwide Four is of course big man Christian Koloko. From all the way in Cameroon, Koloko is a 7'1" center who actually grew up playing soccer until he was 15 years old. He's long and he has great defensive timing, and he's currently blocking a whopping 3.3 shots a game, which is good for top 10 nationally. While he's raw offensively, he can still rim run, offer some post-up leverage, and finish plays. But again, it's defensively where Christian shines. Watch him come all the way from the opposite wing to swat Hunter Dickinson's shot away. And this is just a special play. Koloko will first switch a ball screen while maintaining close enough distance to prevent a shot attempt from his own man. Then he'll help out on a drive, forcing a drop-off pass, and even though he jumped, he still has quick enough feet to re-jump and then block the shot. All in all, Koloko gives Arizona size in the front court and a defensive anchor that can absolutely change games. While Arizona does have quality depth in the likes of Dalen Terry, Pell Larson, Justin Kier, and Umar Ballo, it's the worldwide four that will ultimately determine just how far the Wildcats can go. Arizona is undoubtedly one of the more fun teams to watch with their fast pace, tantalizing skill, and high collective basketball IQ. But I do worry about them because they seem to be upsettable. They aren't supremely athletic where they can physically overwhelm low major opponents. They tend to give up massive runs, as evidenced by their slow start against Tennessee the other day. And outside of Mathurin and Kier, they don't have a lot of consistent shooting on the roster. I wouldn't be surprised at an early Arizona exit, but I also wouldn't be surprised to see the Wildcats in New Orleans for the Final Four. The Worldwide Four and the Final Four? Now that is something I'd want to see. Give me your thoughts below, and as always, thanks for watching.